To my kitchen. I'm Lily Gold, a health coach, and today I want to show you how to make my favorite smoothie. This is the smoothie that for me started it all. Before I added this into my life, I was exhausted. By 11 o'clock in the morning, I had no energy, and I was a kindergarten teaching assistant. And I wanted nothing but to just crawl back into bed and go to sleep. And that would happen all through the morning hours. Up until about 11 o'clock, I just couldn't take it anymore. That's when I would start taking the caffeine supplements to get me through the rest of the day. And then I was manic the rest of the day. So here I was working in kindergarten. I wanted to sleep the whole morning, even though I technically had enough sleep. And then I was manic the whole rest of the day. That was pretty crazy. And the smoothie is where I really began when I decided I have got to do something different. I've got to make a change, and I can't keep living like this. And I fell so in love with this smoothie. It started out a little bit simpler than what I'm going to teach you today, but I want you to know that you can play around with it. I'm going to show you what I do, and then you have total freedom to do with it, what you want. But this smoothie I can't remember now exactly how long it took. I would say within a few weeks, pretty quickly actually. I just woke up one day and I realized I have enough energy to get through the day. Like, I suddenly didn't need to take those caffeine supplements that were making me like, woo, all afternoon. And kindergartners are already enough like that. I don't need to be like that. So, I was able to quit the supplements, and I've never looked back. I've never taken an energy supplement since then. And my skin started to improve. I started losing pounds without doing anything different. And what that means is that my body was naturally detoxifying, because we hold on to toxins in our cells. And especially when we're sick and we have healing needs, our cells are really holding on to toxins and chemicals and things that really don't belong there. And so it's so important to always have that, detoxification process going. And this smoothie was just proof to me, holy cow, nutrition really does make a difference. It really does help us to heal, because I was healing from things that I didn't even know was a problem. I had had a skin condition my whole life, where you have like that bumpy, like chicken, bumpy skin on the back of your arms, and I had it on my legs, and it just kind of went away one day. And I thought, holy cow. I mean, it's just a skin condition, but what it represents and what it signifies is so huge, that nutrition is so key to healing. Because when you feed your body food that has really therapeutic powers, it gets in there and it does its job, and your body knows what to do with it. And my skin healing, that was something I was seeing on the outside, but man, it was doing a lot on the inside for me to, have an outward, symbol of healing happening. And so I lost some weight that I thought was going to be there forever. I pretty much trimmed down to my ideal weight for my body frame, and I didn't do anything different. And I've maintained that. And my skin improved. I have so much more energy. I feel good. And it just started me on this path of wanting to teach others, like, you can do this too. Nutrition is such a missing piece today. It's so wonderful to be able to go to the doctor. It's so wonderful to be able to go to naturopaths and chiropractors and clinics and get our medical care wherever we do. But we also need to come home and feed our bodies really good nutrition. And we don't have to be perfect at it. Okay, that's one of my big things. I don't think we should strive for perfection, because that just sets us up for stress, which is not going to help us when we're working on healing. And it also just kind of sets us up for failure, because, if we're trying to be perfect and eat perfect and then we fall off the wagon, sometimes we just give up. And so I want to really stress to you to just keep at it. Just keep at it. Implement things into your diet that will crowd out other things. So that's why I love this smoothie for breakfast, because in the mornings, we often eat foods that aren't that great for us, if we even eat breakfast. And, I mean, waffles, pancakes, breakfast foods these days are really not so good. And that's why I love this concept of adding in and crowding out. Because when you add in something like a smoothie, you naturally crowd out whatever was there before, whether it was not eating something or eating something that really wasn't serving you from a healing perspective. Toast is great, it tastes good, but is it healing you? And this is where food really can become medicine, and it can taste good. So this is like the perfect marriage of healing and tasting good, therapeutic foods, and like something that you look forward to. And I've taught this to so many clients, and they literally become, I would say they become addicted to it. I know I'm addicted to it because your body like falls in love with it, and it wants that nutrition every day. It wants that sustenance. And, I've had clients where I said, well, if you want to try something different, and they're like, no, we're not going to fix something that's not broken. They stick with this. And I just tell you that just to kind of give you some, maybe pump you up a little bit, get you a little excited that this really is something worth trying. So I'm just going to walk through it, and I have a handout for you that walks through. You'll have a copy of this that is, it's not really a recipe, it's more like a list of different ingredients that you can put into your smoothie. And then I give explanations why. And there's no measurements. I never put in measurements because I want you to just kind of feel it out and decide for yourself how much you want in it. Because when you start out, you're going to want to go a little bit lighter on everything. For one thing, your bodies may not be used to this level of nutrition, and you kind of need to ease yourself into it a little bit. And the other reason is that it may not taste good to you at first because it's just something new. It's going to be really healthy, but I'm going to show you how to make it taste good. But sometimes the first time people make it, they're like, oh my gosh, that was so strong. And I always say, okay, wait. Don't give up on it. Just pull back a little bit on the quantities. Make sure you have enough fruit in there to make it taste good. And just let your body adapt to it over time. And I guarantee that as time goes on, your taste buds are going to evolve. And you're going to become less sensitive to, how sweet it is and, does it taste delicious? You'll get to a point that you might make one day where you're like, whoa, this tastes really healthy today, and you won't care. You'll totally drink it because your body will just be so in tune with it that if you do have kind of a sensitive palate that doesn't like things that don't taste really, really good, just ease yourself into it, and I guarantee that your taste buds are going to adapt, and you're going to be a lot more tolerant of things that aren't as sweet and that maybe taste more, healthy. So just stick with it. And if you visit with me in a session, this is something, I can help you play around with and help you problem solve a little bit. This is old hat for me, really easy. Okay, I have a Vitamix blender. So I have the large size blender. You can use any type of blender that you have on hand. So this isn't like a Vitamix recipe. I love a Vitamix. If you have one or you can get one, absolutely do it. But you use whatever blender you have and that you can afford, okay? Just so no worries about that. Because I've worked up through all my regular other blenders, and I now have a Vitamix, but I certainly didn't start out with a Vitamix, so no stress there. Okay, so this is a full-size blender. I'm going to teach you how to make a full blender full. That if you have a large thermos, and this is a 40-ounce thermos, it will fill this entire thermos and then almost half. So you can share this in your family. You can have somebody that is able to drink a lot, like a man, if they head off to work, you could send them to work with a big thermos of this, and then, if you're the woman and your calorie needs are less, then you're able to have what's left, which is about half of this. or vice versa, or you drink it slowly throughout the day, or you just make a smaller blender, okay? But I'm gonna show you the larger blender size because I actually need to make this for today. I need to run and take my husband his, so I'll be filling up his large container, and then whatever's left will be my portion, and it works out perfect for us. So I have about 4 1/4 cups of water in here. You don't need to do any kind of milk, especially not dairy milk, because when you're healing, when you're working on healing, you want to stay away from cow's milk, from dairy, like that, because we can talk about it in a session, but it's not conducive to healing your digestive tract, and that's something we always want to be aware of and when we're doing any type of healing. So stick with water. It's great, and it's cheap. You'd go through a lot of milks if you had to fill it with milk. Okay, so now my husband likes to have a lot of greens in his. So you're gonna see me put a ton of greens in here, okay? This is an 8-cup container. So this is a lot of greens. So I just want to kind of give you an idea. But my husband, he likes it really, really dense, and I'm making this to actually go to him. So this is kale and spinach, and I actually buy the bags at a warehouse store, and I'm gonna stop right there. I want to be able to put other things in here. But we buy the big bags and boxes of greens. We always buy the organic ones if they're in stock, so that you don't add the pesticides into your diet, which when we're healing, you know, we really don't want that. And I'll just put a big handful in there. If you're starting out, you'll want to go maybe a little heavier on spinach because it's so mild, but then you can also add in kale, any greens, especially in the summertime when you have access to garden greens. Absolutely throw in any kind of greens you have. At the grocery store, pick out any kind of greens that you want to, okay? So you're not at all held back by just having, you know, 2 specific greens. You can go nuts with it and put all your favorite greens in. It'll change the flavor a little bit, but that's okay. You just play around with it. So we've got 4 1/4 cups of water. We've got a big handful of greens. And now I'm gonna add in my favorite protein powder. And this is, you know, this is gonna be a meal replacement. And so I love to use raw meal, and it's on your handout. And you can get that at a health food store. You can find it online, on Amazon, raw meal. And I love it because it has 26 different ground up raw sprouts, and let's see, I think I made a note here, so I don't have to read the box. Sprouts, seeds, greens, and fruits, plus it's got some probiotics and it has enzymes. So this is really incredible. I have a lot of people, a lot of clients and friends that I've gotten started with this raw meal, and they just want to stick with it. The other option would be, if you're using doTERRA, they have a shake. It's, you know, it's this powder that is really great for you, and it will actually help with weight loss. Where this isn't designed towards weight loss, but it is so good for you that nutritionally, through naturally detoxing, you will lose weight. But just so you know, there are other options. Raw meal is not the only option. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a whole scoop in there, and because I'm making a huge blender and my husband's protein needs, this is a protein replacement, or higher, I'm gonna put a little bit more in there. So this is a vegan protein, which I love. It's not a whey, W-H-E-Y. That stuff's really cheap. You can go to the health food store and buy big old tubs of whey. It's really not great in your body. Your body, it's so heavily processed that your body doesn't love it. Like, it's gonna use it and do stuff with it, but it's really gonna put stress on your body, and it will have negative repercussions. So try to go with a vegan protein powder, whether it's raw meal or something else. So, okay, I'm gonna set this aside. And then the next thing I'm going to add is raw cacao. And raw cacao, C-A-C-A-O, and it's on it's the second ingredient on your handout. It's very important that you get, it's basically like Hershey's cocoa powder, but it's not. It's before it's been cooked into Hershey's cocoa powder. So this is the raw stuff. And the reason why you want to get it raw and not just a tub of Hershey's cocoa is because when it's in its raw form, it still has all of its vitamin C. It's got magnesium. It's got, let me check. I want to be able to make sure I give you guys all of the goods. Oh, yeah. Highest source of antioxidants in the plant world. It's got a lot of dietary fiber, believe it or not. And it's, like I said, magnesium. It has flavonols and polyphenols. And that may not mean a lot, you know, those words, they're kind of foreign, but it translates into improved health, okay? So I'm almost out of mine, you know, because I'm just in my kitchen demonstrating from what I have. So just like in the real world, you know, I'm out of stuff. So I don't have a lot of cacao left, but when you smell it, it smells so good. It smells really similar to Hershey's cocoa. Now I'm almost out, so I'm gonna go ahead and just dump. And you could do maybe a couple, if you're doing a full blender like I am, you could do a couple tablespoons and give that a try. You know, you can always go down a little bit in quantity if you need to, and you can always add some more if you like it. And then the other ingredient that I'm going to do is flaxseed. And you can't see that. I don't have somebody operating my camera for me to zoom in. But flax seeds you can get in bulk, often at health food stores, warehouse stores. It's pretty easy to find. And it's very inexpensive. I think it's like $2 to $3 a pound for flax seeds. And as you can see on your handout, these are amazing. Okay, they have a natural oil in them, which is so great. They're so good for cellular and hormonal health. They provide 75 to 800 times more lignans than other types of plant food. So just so good for you. A great source of omega-3 fatty acids, and we're always needing to get more of those good fatty acids. They are actually the top ranking source of omega-3s. They are a good source of protein, fiber, and magnesium, and they are amazing for your digestive tract. They help to get in there and just clean you out, which is really important, especially when we're talking about healing. I can't stress enough the importance of healing our digestive tract. Okay, it goes hand in hand, healing and healing the digestive tract. You just kind of assume that if you need to heal in any way or fashion, that you also want to, at the same time, be focusing on your digestive tract, because all healing starts in the digestive tract. And this is where, you know, the nutrition, coming home from the clinic, having great treatments, this and that, come home and now take care of your body through nutrition so that you can just heal on such a more powerful level. This is a little Dixie cup, you know, those little bathroom cups, and I filled it almost to the top with the flax seed. So you can envision a Dixie cup. That's probably, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons of flax seed. And I like to lift up the spinach and kind of pour things down. I kind of make a little spinach sandwich, because when you turn on the blender, it kind of helps things to head down in. Okay, and then chia seeds. Oh, one thing about flax seeds that you need to know, if you do not have a Vitamix or a Blend Tech, you know, a really powerful high-speed blender, you need to grind the flax seed before you put them in the blender. So if you want to buy a bag of fresh ground flax seed, store it in your freezer. As soon as it's open, store it, because the oils in the flax seed begin to oxidize the moment they're ground, and they begin to go rancid. So if you do buy pre-ground flaxseed, immediately store it in your freezer. Otherwise, if you are willing, you can get a little coffee grinder and just keep it on your counter. I used to do that all the time before I had a Vitamix. I would just buzz in my little coffee grinder, my flaxseed every day, and I would just dump it into my blender, and that works perfectly fine too. But just be aware of that. Otherwise, they're gonna pass right through your system and do you no good. But when they're ground, they are incredibly healing. So big difference. Okay, the other thing I'm going to add now is chia seeds, and these are the same thing. You can get them at the health food store, you can get them online. They look like little seeds, and they're really pretty, like if you had, you know, like a black and white pepper mix. This is what it reminds me of, and they're just gorgeous little seeds, really pretty. And these are amazing on so many levels. You can look at your handout, but just to go over it, ounce per ounce, chia provides more omega-3 fatty acids than salmon, more antioxidants than blueberries, more calcium than milk, more magnesium than broccoli, and more iron than spinach. Oh, and more potassium than banana. That's ounce per ounce. These are incredible. And I love them, especially when we're talking about healing, because chia seeds are incredibly healing for the body on so many levels. When chia seeds absorb liquid, they actually become like little gelatinous, like little jelly balls. And it's so cool. Mother Nature made them this way on purpose, because when they go into your digestive tract, that jelly slows down the absorption. So as it's going through your system, it's able to absorb more of the nutrients as it's passing through, and it, you know, it doesn't get wasted. You don't pass it through, you know, into the toilet basically, with, you know, having not absorbed it. So that gel really kind of keeps it like going through your system, allowing your body to really pull the nutrients from it. It helps you to be hydrated because your body's able to absorb that nice gel in. Has so many, you know, medicinal properties. Another great thing I love about chia from this digestive healing perspective is that as the chia goes through your digestive tract, it is pulling toxins out of your body, okay? It's just pulling toxins out and ushering them out, which is amazing. So chia seeds, wonderful. Add them into your diet. If you don't do a smoothie, find other ways to use them. Soak them in liquid in your favorite beverage, not soda or anything like that, but soak them in your favorite healthy beverage overnight. And you'll have all these little jelly balls in your beverage the next day. And you can drink it, and they're so light that you don't even really like feel the sensation of them. I mean, they're just, it's really cool. And sometimes people like the sensation. I actually have come to kind of like that. Okay, I think the last thing, the last thing I'm going to put in here, I'm going to pretend to put in here before I add the fruit in to make it taste good, is coconut oil. I am out of coconut oil, and it has been driving me crazy, but I keep forgetting when I go to the warehouse store to pick it up, because I'll buy organic coconut oil in a big tub. Coconut oil is great in this smoothie because it helps you to digest the greens that are in this. So it works really synergistically with the greens. And also, coconut oil, you know, you can go on and on. If you research it online, you'll find page after page after page of why coconut oil is so amazing and all the different uses for coconut oil. But coconut oil helps our bodies to be resistant to bacteria, to viruses. So it's antibacterial, antiviral. It helps to fight off yeast, fungus, candida. It can positively affect our hormones for thyroid and blood sugar control. It can boost thyroid function, increase metabolism, energy, and endurance. It increases digestion and helps our body to absorb fat-soluble vitamins, and that's, you know, why we're adding it into the smoothie, to help us with that digestion. And studies have shown that people that use coconut oil shed weight. Like it does help your metabolism, and it does help you to lose weight. And, you know, I've been using coconut oil for years, and I'm not, even when I go through periods, you know, we all go through periods where we're maybe not as exercising as well as we should be, or we're not eating as well. You know, it's life, it happens. And, you know, but I take my coconut oil every day in my smoothie, and, you know, I've been able to maintain my, my weight in my frame. And normally I would fluctuate, and it would be like really frustrating, but I've really been able to maintain it quite easily. And I do believe that coconut oil is part of it. So if I were to have a tub of coconut oil here, you would see me take a spoon and I would scoop out big chunks. Now, if it's cooler weather, it's going to look like shortening when you open up the tub. It's going to look really white, okay? And it's going to be cold and thick and dense. Okay, and I take nice big spoonfuls of it. I would say, if you're doing a full blender, don't be afraid of doing 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Maybe you want to start out lighter and maybe go with 2 tablespoons, but coconut oil, you can take up to like 4 tablespoons a day and have wonderful medicinal, you know, benefits from it. So don't be afraid of coconut oil. In the summer, it's going to be really liquid. Or if you live in a warmer climate, it's going to be liquid. You're going to open your tub and you're going to see liquid in. So then you just take a, you know, little scooper and just scoop some oil in, and it might feel really weird at first to be putting oil in your smoothie, but comes from a coconut. Just remember that. You know, it's coming from a coconut. It's not like canola oil, which we always want to stay away from, or it's not shortening. You know, it's the essence of the coconut. So it's all good. Okay, so let's pretend I put in my coconut oil, and I'm so sorry I don't have that to demonstrate. It really irritates me when I'm out. But I do have some other oil that I had in my fridge. I don't know if I can, just so that I do get some oil in. This is yeah, I'm getting some oil. Let me check it. It smells okay. It's Total EFA, it's called. And it's kind of a flaxseed, borage, evening primrose combination. But I really want my coconut oil. I'm not liking that I'm using this today. So totally worth getting, and I will run out and get some today, guaranteed. So now we're gonna add some fruit to make this taste good. Because if you were to eat this, okay, you'd be like a freaking rock star that you were able to eat this, and you certainly can. But I'm a wimp, and everybody I've met so far is a wimp like me. They don't want to do this, okay, like that. So now we're gonna add in fruit to make it delicious. So I love to add a banana because it makes it more creamy. Okay, I'm gonna stick that in. I actually might, don't you love how that looks? I might run this in the blender, and then I'm gonna add another fruit. Let me grab the other fruit I have. So I go to the warehouse store, and we do this like every week. We go by the frozen fruit section, and we get bags of frozen fruit because we go through a lot of it for our smoothies, just like we're always buying big bag of kale, we're always buying a big box of spinach, we're always picking up fruit. Those are the things that we go through all the time, and bananas, because we like that. Now, if diabetes, you know, if you've got some of that going on, probably want to skip the banana because it is higher glycemic. Berries would be a really great option for you, and warehouse stores now sell berries. If you have a Costco, they actually even have bags of, organic berries, which is really exciting. So I think today I'm just going to do, well, I'm going to go ahead and run the blender. It's just like being in my kitchen with me. I run around and get things. Okay. Maybe I'll use the stopper. I often use my hand, and then it shoots up and I have smoothie all over my hand. So I think for today, because I have an audience, I will not do that. So just bear with me while I run this. With the Vitamix, you can control starting out slow and then gradually building up. So I'm just kind of working it through. See, and now everything's dropped down and I have more room in my blender. So I'm going to pick it up a notch. And I'm going to start adding the fruit. Okay. Normally, like after I shut off this video, I'll probably let it blend a little bit longer, but you don't have to sit through me blending. So anyways, basically this is it. I'll probably add a little bit more fruit. Like I said, my husband doesn't mind it being less sweet, but I'm gonna have some of this too, and I like it to be a little bit more sweet. So I'll add in some more fruit. I'll let it blend for a while. You really wanna give it a chance to blend really well because you have those flax seeds in there that aren't ground up. So, you know, if you're using a different kind of blender, you'll just judge and decide how long you need it to blend. And then you've got it. It's done. So if you have any questions, if you have a session with me, then, you know, we can talk about this some more. You know, just experiment with it. you've got this list of ingredients. On the ingredient list, I include maca powder, and I didn't demonstrate that today. I haven't personally been using maca powder for a while, but it is really great for healing the adrenal system and helping your body to handle stress well, and to get energy back, and it's just so great. So you can read about it on there, and you can add a spoonful of maca in if you want, but otherwise I've shown you everything on there. You can play around with it, add more, add less, skip something. It's completely your smoothie. And I also should let you know, I do have a book on Kindle. It's only $2.99. I've made it really cheap on purpose so that it's totally accessible. And you just download it, and it's called a Healing Smoothie Solution. And it goes through health condition and tells you a suggested list of ingredients, and it'll explain why each ingredient would be a good addition to your smoothie. And so you're going to see a lot of the repeats, okay, of these things, depending on the health condition. But then it'll also suggest some other options. And most of them you can track down on Amazon or at your local health food store. But if you really kind of want to delve into this a little bit deeper, that's a way you can do it. Besides just what you've learned in our smoothie class today, you can get that book for $2.99, really cheap. I'm not even really making any money off of it. It's just something I wanted to be able to have out there for the public. And you can really start playing around with it more and having ideas of the kinds of things that you can put in your smoothie, and it just makes that, food as medicine just so powerful, and just gives you just so many options, and it really empowers you. This is what I just believe so fully, and I want you to feel empowered that you can do so much for your own health and your healing. Kudos to you for getting the medical care that you need, and for doing treatments, and whatever it is you're doing. That's fantastic. And now the amazing thing is you can come home and feel empowered that there are things that you can do to absolutely support your healing. And that's what I'm all about. So, if you haven't visited with me yet, let's get some sessions going, and let's work on this and really empower you to be able to take care of your body on so many levels, whether it's stress management or nutrition or, just lifestyle, maybe mindset, what's holding you back. So thank you so much for coming by my class. Really give this a try. Give it a try. If it doesn't taste good the first time, just play around with it. You always just want to play around with it and, just change it up. It's no big deal. Okay, thank you so much for coming to my class. We're going to officially wrap this up, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.